Okay, so week 1, 10-6, good record, could have been better. Week 2, 11-5, definitely a better record. Was really hoping the trend would continue and I'd go from 10 to 11 to 12, but week 3 we regressed a bit and went back to 10-6. Now it's week 4. Let's see what the fuck happens. But I've got my picks, and there's definitely quite a few games on here where I'm like, man, I didn't flip a coin, but it kind of feels like a coin flip. I could really go either way. And honestly, the Thursday night game, today's Wednesday, so tomorrow's game, which actually, fuck, I'm not going to be able to go see it because I made plans. Going to be doing something else. But the Lions at the Packers. So on the one hand, there's the part of me that goes, I got to pick the Lions. The Lions swept the Packers last year. Yes, it's a new year. Yes, it's a new season. Things change. But they did have the edge last year, it's a decent indicator of how things are going to go. And so far into the year, both teams look pretty good, and I'm not exactly sure who has the edge. So I should pick the Lions. On the other hand, I'm like, well, it is the Packers at home. Jordan Love did just come off a very impressive fourth quarter comeback. They've got some momentum right now, but also, the Lions just won last week too, so both teams have some momentum. Both teams are 2-1. Sorry, I was just looking at my notes to see what I wanted to say about it, and really what I thought of was this. Aiden Hutchinson is an absolute beast. And I've seen this Packers offense get shut down. The Falcons completely shut the Packers down in the fourth quarter. The Saints completely shut the Packers down for the first 3 quarters. The Lions might be able to do that. But also, as good as the Lions defense is, I've seen them get carved up too. They got carved up by the Seahawks. If Kadarius Toney was able to hang on to the ball, I think they kind of would have gotten carved up by the Chiefs too. So I look at that and go, what do I believe in more? The Lions defense, or the ability of the Lions defense to shut down the Packers offense, which can happen, or the ability of the Packers offense to carve up the Lions D, which can also happen. And while I was writing this, my gut was telling me, I know you want the Lions to win, but Green Bay is going to win. As I'm saying it now, I'm feeling the urge to pick Detroit a bit more. I think, no, I was right about to say I think I'll go Detroit, and then my gut said, no, you've got to pick Green Bay. So I'll pick the Packers. Like I said, I'm very back and forth, very close on this one, but I think I'm going to roll with the Packers to win. The next game, speaking of the Falcons are going to Jacksonville, take on the Jaguars, and I don't really know. I think I'm going to pick the Jaguars because I feel like they need it a little bit more. The Falcons are a team, there were some expectations for the Falcons. Some people were like, yo, this team actually looks pretty good. Maybe this team can contend. The division looks kind of weak. But Jacksonville came in as an AFC heavyweight. And now that they're 1-2 with a loss to Houston of all teams, which it's a division loss, like I had said last week, it's the kind of shit in a division I expect to happen. I feel like they're a bit more, maybe not necessarily desperate, it's early in the season, but a bit hungrier for it. Hungrier for that win, to prove themselves, to get back on the right track. And for that reason, also, I'm not really sure how good Desmond Ridder is. I think I'm going to take Jacksonville at home in this game. The next one, the Rams at the Colts. You know, I had written down the Rams because I'm like, I still think this Rams team is good. Like, okay, you just lost 2 games in a row. One was to the 49ers. Very understandable loss. The other is to the Bengals, who were supposed to be a good team. So theoretically, also a very understandable loss. The Colts actually seem like they were a pretty decent team. They have sole possession of first place in their division, for whatever that's worth. My gut likes the Colts, though. It's kind of like them a lot this season. Like I said, it was like last week, I talked myself out of picking the Colts and went with the Ravens because I was like, this Ravens team feels better. They seem more experienced overall. I know there's some differences, like they got a new OC, they have some new receivers, but I'm going to pick the Ravens, and the Colts won. So kind of in the same boat, I'm like, do I see Sean McVay losing 3 in a row? I mean, I know that shit happened last year, but this team feels better than that. This team is mostly healthier than they were last year. They should be able to win. Fuck. I really want to pick the Rams, but I also really want to pick the Colts. So you know what? Fuck it. I'll go Indy. Also, hold up. I think my cat wants to come too. Yeah, hey, bub. Dude. I feel like my gut toward the Colts, it's like my heart is saying pick the Colts, while my head is like, dude, the Rams should win this. The Rams are gonna win this. But you know what? Oh, they had a Bahamut sighting. I'm gonna pick the Colts. If the Rams do, I mean, like when the Rams inevitably win, I will take that L. But I really do think the Rams are gonna win though. Are the Colts gonna make? Are the Colts? If I pick the Rams, are the Colts really gonna make me eat crow twice in a row? Ugh. You know what? I'll put a pin in this one when I go back and kind of review everything. Like, I picked you. I'll figure out who I picked there. I really don't know who to pick. Ravens, Browns. I know who to pick. I'm picking the Ravens. Just because I don't like Deshaun Watson after all the shit that happened in the last few off seasons. And I probably shouldn't be why I pick the Ravens, but it's like I don't want to see the Browns do well, as shitty as that sounds. And I don't trust, I don't think anyone trusts him anymore, but I don't trust him as a quarterback because he's looked in his like 1.5 third of a season. Not even that. It's a few games here and then a few last year. He doesn't look very good. And so it's like my brain has an excuse to pick against them. That defense is fucking good. It's really, really good. I'm still going to pick the Ravens on the road, though. And I feel more confident about that than I do about the Rams and Colts one. Ow, you are just nibbling hard, dude. What's the next one? The next one is the Vikings at the Panthers. I just feel like the Vikings are closer to a win than the Panthers are. I will say this, if Andy Dalton starts, I feel like they have a better chance, granted, Seattle's passing defense is bad now. I feel like he'll probably do better than Bryce Young because Bryce Young just did not look that great in his first 2 weeks. But if Young is healthy, they're going to play him because they want him to get that experience. They want him to get those reps in so he can get better with time. Because the Panthers are not a team that they're like, we need to win now. It's like, we're okay. Let's take it slow. Let's develop our guy. So for that reason, too, I feel like the Viking, it's kind of like what I was saying about Jacksonville. This is the team that's hungrier. Like, we need this win more. And I think we're going to see that. I do think Kirk Cousins is going to, Panthers front, I think is going to at least, get a couple sacks, force a fumble, because it's the Vikings. Someone's going to fumble. I'm going to say it's Kirk. I'm going to say Kirk throws one interception, but again, it has, anywhere from 340 to, 400 yards passing. Justin Jefferson has a $150 to 200. I think the Vikings win. I don't know if it's necessarily a blowout, but I'm seeing like a 14 to 15 kind of point game. But I'm gonna pick Minnesota to finally get on the board. Bengals Titans. Tennessee's defense looks pretty good. Like dude, like their pass rush, I know, is like really fucking good. The Tennessee offense is terrible. I feel like anytime I see a highlight of them on the field, it's of the opposing team's defense sacking Tannehill or like getting an interception. He is not finishing the year. I don't even know if he'll make it to their bye week whenever that is. He might not even finish this game. Because the Bengals have a good pass rush. Tannehill is going to get fucked up, man. It's not going to be, unless you're a Bengals fan or you just enjoy other people suffering. I don't think it's going to be a pleasant game to watch for Tannehill. It seems like the Bengals, like they won a game. I guess that means they kind of got their shit together. We'll see. I don't expect it to be very high scoring on either side. But I feel like I trust the Bengals more to be able to do just enough to win than I trust the Titans right now. So I'll pick Cincinnati on the road. The Bucks and the Saints. This is a game, like, these are two teams that know each other. These are two teams that fucking hate each other. I am expecting a low-scoring defensive battle, just a really ugly, violent game. Lattimore is going to blanket Evans, and he's not going to do shit. He might get, like, one touchdown, like, on a short throw or some shit. They're going to be jawing at each other all day. They're probably going to get into a fight. They might get ejected again like they did last year in New Orleans. Jameis is going to be playing, and I don't know what to think of that. Because a couple years ago, when it was, this is your time to be the starter, he was playing a pretty good game against the Bucks in New Orleans, and then he got injured. Dirty fucking tackle. But he got injured. Last year, he wasn't playing particularly well. And then when it's like, oh shit, the Bucks scored, we have to be more aggressive, then that's when it's just interception, and the game just completely got away. I definitely feel like he's going to throw a lot of bombs to Olave. He's going to throw a lot of bombs to Shaheed. Not all of them are going to connect. Some of them will. I'm going to pick the Saints. Of course I'm going to pick the Saints because it's a division rival. But it's definitely don't be surprised if this game is just a low-scoring, turnover-filled mess. That's kind of what I'm seeing it with, like, a few deep shot, exciting plays. And I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of really excited to see Baker Mayfield in his first division game. Like, given how, like, chippy he can be, like, just how angry he is when he plays, I feel like he's going to piss a lot of Saints players off, and it's going to be funny. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him just, like, jawing at somebody. It's the kind of shit that's like, man, I kind of wish CJ was still on the team, because, like, him and Baker Mayfield talking shit would have been fucking fun to watch. But yeah, I'm picking the Saints. The Dolphins and the Bills. This is another game where I'm like, oh, who the fuck do I pick? Is Buffalo going to end Miami's winning streak? Is Miami going to go to 4-0? Can anyone stop Miami? Like the Patriots did. They only scored 24 in that game, but even then, the Dolphins did enough on defense to win. I remember week 1 being like, the Dolphins defense gave up 200 yards rushing. That run defense is ass. And then the next 2 games, they gave up like 60 each. The run defense is good. It's just Chargers offense with Austin Eckler is that good. James Cook has been really good this year for the Bills. So maybe they have a good game on the ground. Maybe they don't. I'm going to lean more toward like a less than 100 yards rushing for the Bills. Josh Allen. I feel like if the run defense of Miami really shows up, Josh Allen is going to make like at least one bad interception. Just like all right, let's do some hero ball. Let's go fuck it. And it'll be like a deep shot. Like, let me do a deep shot, gets intercepted. Shit. But I think it'll only happen once, and then it'll kind of like cool off. I do think this will be more of an offensive showcase. Like, we're going to get a lot of points scored. I'm going to pick Buffalo. I think just because it's at home. But I don't want to bet against it's like Buffalo is rolling right now. I don't want to pick against them. Miami scored 70. They're rolling too. They're the one that's undefeated right now. They didn't lose to the Jets. Fuck it, no. They scored 70 points. I have to pick the Dolphins. The Dolphins have given me so far literally no reason to doubt them. The run defense that I thought was ass, it's actually really good. That offense is so good. I can't pick against, in good conscience, I can't pick against the team that scored 70 last week. I think Buffalo is still a really good team. I think this will be a great game. I wouldn't be shocked if Buffalo won. I want to pick them. I'm like, I can't not pick Miami right now. Come on, man. The next game is Denver and Chicago. Here's what I wrote down in my notes for this game. I just wrote tie. Because that's what I want. I don't want to see either team win. If I'm being honest, I think Denver will win. Denver should win. But as I was saying in my video yesterday, this week in review, Denver week 1 had the defense to win, but not the offense. Denver week 2 had offense to win and not the defense. And Denver week 3 shit the bed on both sides. This team knows how to lose. If there's a team in the league that would find the way to lose to the Bears, it would be the Broncos. But also, if there's a team that would figure out how to lose to the Broncos, it would be the Bears. They were losing 41-0. That's not a margin of 50 like Denver did, but it's still pretty fucking bad. Like, the team just looks... It's hapless. I'm just gonna say it. I'm picking a tie. I don't even know if it'll be like a weird high-scoring tie or like a 0-0. I can only hope it's a 2-2 tie. We just get two... Maybe if I'm lucky, it'll be a 4-4 tie. 2 safeties each. And then it goes into overtime. Or maybe someone wins in overtime on a safety. And it'll be like the final score is 4-2 or some stupid shit. That's what I want. I am trying to speak it into existence. Let this game end in a tie. Let this be... I'm a huge fan of Urinating Tree. I can't wait for this video, for this game to get a greatest game video. It hasn't even been played yet, and I know this is greatness. This is Tank Bowl in week 4, and I am ecstatic for it. I wish this game was on prime time. I wish this was the Thursday night game this week. Oh, it's going to be a thing of beauty. It might be the worst game of football ever played. And last year, the Broncos were in possibly the worst game of all time. And this might be worse. Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Washington at Philly. Now I know Washington has this ability to end undefeated streaks. Steelers were 11-0. Didn't matter. Philly last year was 8-0, 9-0, something like that. Didn't matter. The Ravens in their preseason 20-0, whatever. Washington was the team to beat it. But I think it's too early for them to use their powers. I don't think that works unless it's a really big streak. Like 3-0, that's a good streak. That's a nice streak. Only 3 teams have that. Only 3 teams are 3-0. I kind of like that. But I don't think the Washington curse will kick in until later in the season. I don't know when Philly plays them. Actually, will they also play San Francisco? Yeah, I think San Francisco has both. Yeah, they are going to play San Francisco. So maybe, I don't know when that happens. Maybe they'll be the ones to beat the 49ers if the 49ers are undefeated. When that game happens, if the 49ers are still undefeated, I am picking Washington solely because of this shit. When they play the Eagles later in the season, if the Eagles are still undefeated, I'm picking Washington to win because, of course, that's when the power will show up. But I also look at it like that Washington defensive front is really fucking good, and they couldn't sack Josh Allen. And not to say that like Josh Allen is a bum or anything, but it's like they couldn't do that, and they're going against Philly's offensive line. They might still get a sack or so on Jalen Hurts, but that offensive line is going to keep him upright for the vast majority of the game. I think Philly's got this, so I'm going to take them. Also, I mean, like I was saying, I kept waiting for Philly to show me just a thorough dominance against another team, and they finally did that against Tampa. I'm like, yeah, you showed me exactly what I was looking for. I'm not going to pick against you right after you do that. If they were playing like San Francisco or something, then maybe, but no, I feel like I can justify the still rolling with Philly. After that, it's Pittsburgh and Houston. I wrote down Pittsburgh winning because I have a lot of faith in their defense, but mostly like TJ Watt. But you know what? Sorry about that. As soon as I was looking at it, my gut just said, no, don't fucking pick Pittsburgh. Pick Houston. So I will. I'll change it to Houston. I do think... sorry, my nose is really itchy. I do think CJ Stroud's his streak ends. I do think he finally throws an interception. I do think that Steelers defense is going to have a fun time playing a rookie. But I think he's going to thoroughly outplay Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett will throw more interceptions than CJ Stroud does. I just want to say, I think, like, just looking at it, I was like, no, I don't think Pittsburgh's winning this. They maybe should, but I'm going to go with Houston. The Raiders at the Chargers. I think the Chargers offense is going to completely scorch Vegas. Like I said last week, I don't trust Josh McDaniels, and look what he did at the end of the game. He did something I think is incredibly stupid. Did it cost his team the win? Maybe not, because maybe if they had gone for it, they still wouldn't have done it, or they still wouldn't have recovered, but I just don't trust him as a coach. I'm going to be completely honest, so I'm going to just say, nah, Chargers. I trust Brandon Staley more than Josh McDaniels, or at least he's at least made the playoffs. I mean, it took him a while, but like the Chargers have been consistently good even with him doing dumb shit. The Raiders, it's only been one season. Yes, I get that. But man, they just looked so bad. Like they were a playoff team the year before. They had so much heart. And then Josh McDaniels got there and it just felt like it was gone. I don't trust that. I'm going to stick with the Chargers. Who's after that? Cardinals and the 49ers. I have the Cardinals winning. Basically the same shit as last week with Houston and Jacksonville. It's like, it's a division game. Weird shit happens. The Cardinals are a lot better, or at least just a lot better coached than we really thought they would be. So you know what? Pew, pew, pew. They got fucking killers, man. I'm just going to go for the chaos pick and say, fuck it. Arizona gets the upset of the week. Possibly the upset of the year. They're going to beat the 49ers, and it's just going to feel weird, and no one's really going to know what to think. They're like, so what? Are the Cardinals actually that good? Because they've just beaten 2 Super Bowl contenders in a row, but they lost to the Giants? What the hell? Like, that's... I want the chaos, so I am picking the Cardinals to win, man. They shouldn't, but they will. After that, the Patriots and the Cowboys. this is another one where, like, I wrote down the Patriots winning, and, like, Bill Belichick tends to do very, very well against the Cowboys. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, Dallas is really good. They did lose to Arizona, but I just said Arizona might just be better than we think. But also, it's like, how is Dallas? It's like, is Arizona not as bad as we think, or is Dallas not as good as we think? Those aren't mutually exclusive. They can both be true, but it's like, I have to think about that. And I'm like, do I really think the Patriots are going to win? I mean, kind of. It's like, do I really want to trust Dallas against what happened? Like, if the Cowboys lost to the Cardinals and they were playing San Francisco this week, I would kind of get it. It's like, okay, this was your trap game before the big game, the one that, like, a whole fucking country is looking forward to. Arguably the two best teams in the NFC, two very popular Super Bowl picks. This is going to be a lot of fun. You were preparing for them maybe a little too early, though. I would get that. But I was like, no, it's New England next. I guess Arizona just outplayed them. And again, like, I know what happened to Trayvon Diggs, but I mean, he still plays defense, but he's not a run defender. And the Cardinals ran all over the fucking Cowboys. You think Bill Belichick can't take advantage of that? Like, they're supposed to have a really good run defense, but like, holy shit, Rondell Moore said pew, pew, pew. I kind of want to pick the Patriots. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Patriots win. Maybe Dallas isn't as good as we think they are. Prove me wrong, Cowboys. You probably will. Prove me wrong. After that, it's the Chiefs and the Jets. I literally have no notes written. I just have, like, because I star whichever team I think is going to win. I just have a star by the Chiefs. There's a part of me that wants to pick the Jets that, again, just wants to go pure chaos route. The Chiefs completely overlook this opponent. They overlook this Jets defense. And holy shit, this is when the Jets get it together. Zach Wilson has the game of his life. And with the whole country watching, the Chiefs trip over themselves. Maybe Taylor Swift is in attendance. Maybe she's not. But Zach Wilson balls out. And he gets the respect of the NFL world. And he's like, you guys get what you fucking deserve. And just obliterates the Chiefs. But unfortunately, I live in reality. And I know this is coming from someone who just said the Cardinals are going to upset the 49ers. But I can see that maybe happening. With the Jets, I'm like, I have to be smoking something to honestly believe it. And my gut's telling me, like, pick the Jets. Please pick the Jets for just the weird chaos. I'm like, I can't. If they win, if the Jets win, I don't know, I'll do something. I might buy, if the Jets win, I'll probably just like buy a Zach Wilson jersey or some shit. I don't actually want to eat a crow, but it's like, I will eat my words. Maybe I'll actually buy some alphabet soup and just be like, Chiefs win, and then literally eat my words. I don't know, but like, I have to pick the fucking Chiefs. Afterwards, it's the Seahawks and the Giants. Fuck it, I'm picking the Giants. No, I had it written down. I was like, Seattle's pass defense is really bad. Danny Dimes is going to go and pick them apart. I'm like, I can't do that. I have to pick the Seahawks. Like, I actually, like, no, as much as I feel like that's an upset, that's a fun upset. It's in the realm of possibility of, like, do I actually believe that's going to happen? Maybe kind of, but not really. I think Seattle wins, so I'll stick with that. So looking over my picks, fuck, who did I ultimately take in Lions-Packers? Because I had Packers start, and I'm like, I don't really know who's going to win this game. I'll stick with the Packers. I do have the Jaguars over the Falcons. Rams, Colts. It's the one I was really going back and forth on. My gut was telling me Colts, 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 and my head was telling me Rams, Rams, Rams. Bahamut, what do you think? Twist your tail once for the Colts, twice for the Rams. That was one swish. So I got to go with the Colts. Colts win. Okay, we're good. I got Ravens over the Browns, Vikings over the Panthers, Bengals over the Titans, Saints over the Bucks, Dolphins over the Bills, tie between Denver and Chicago, please, like a 4-4 tie. I want it so bad. Philly over Washington, changed my pick to Houston over Pittsburgh, Chargers over the Raiders, Cardinals over the 49ers in a big upset, Patriots over the Cowboys, Chiefs over the Jets, and Seahawks over the Giants. We'll see how I do. For all I know, this could be a great week. For all I know, I could do absolutely terrible, but these are my picks. There are many like them, but these are mine.